Hello, everyone. Welcome to another round of the Galactic Pod Racing Circuit
Yeah, good
today
luck, you two.
between Digital
See you on the other
Unity and
side.
acE. I'm Game Draco, joined today by a knock, and we are starting on Mongaza Speedway with a gentleman's agreement where acE is just going to try to go for broke and get a turning record. Hopefully, aiming for sub 40.
Yeah, I think the current tournament record is a 40.020 or so. So already quite fast. But Ace is, yeah, like Draco said, going to be going for broke, which means he is more likely than normal to crash, and if he does, Digital Unity is probably going to pick up this track.
Yeah. Okay. Both players say they're ready, so I'm going to be giving them the countdown. Okay.
All right, should just be about 20-30 seconds while the stream catches up. A little bit about this track. This is the shortest track in the entire game, and very, very technical. Obviously, with a track this short, getting off the line or missing any boost is a significant time loss, and will knock Ace off of the record time.
And it looks like Digital Unity is off with Bullseye. And now acE is off with Ben Quaternaros, who is the fastest here.
Yeah, Digital Unity electing to go with Bullseye there, largely I think because he's playing on the Switch platform, which is a fair bit harder than playing on PC.
Yeah, this is a track that's pretty rotten at high frame rates, so this is why Bullseye is used here because of his sheer agility.
Yep. And what Draco is referring to there, for those of you who don't watch or play pod racing regularly, all of the physics in this game is tied pretty heavily to the frame rate it runs at, and the Switch is stuck at 60 frames per second.
Oh, he got it!
Wow, there it
339.99.
is! I was a little worried actually after his first lap. It was a 1440, which is maybe a little slower than I was expecting, but can't argue with that.
Yep, new turning record. He got it. 44.489 for digital.
Just barely squeaked that out. That's what, 300ths faster than the previous tourney record.
Yeah, but it was the first time we broke the 40-minute mark in tournament.
Yeah, and that is not an easy feat. Ace really had to use everything he had there to even get that high 39. I believe the current true world record is what, a 39.5 or so?
Yeah. Okay. Not so.
Excuse
Okay,
me,
I'm not so sure.
39.4.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat, and I'm not so sure with the permabans yet.
Yeah, it looks like Ace permabanned Beto's Wild Ride, and then Digital Unity uh, returned with Vengeance.
Okay, that's correct.
And Ace
And
banning Howler Gorge. So like Ace really doesn't want to go to the Andobi tracks where he'll have to use the infamous tent shortcut, which is very easy to crash trying to enter.
and yeah, the Endo Prime tracks with their ice can be really. And now we're waiting on Digital Unity for the second. Keeping it suspenseful, he said, okay, my second will be ...
It can be hard to figure out what track you actually want to permaban. There's uh, what is it, 25? Yeah, 25 tracks in the game, so it's hard to keep them all in your head. And of course, against a player like acE, I mean, what do you even ban? You can't ban his best tracks. They're all his best tracks.
Yeah. So it was interesting when you see. Yeah, he's so hard to counter. He's probably, I would say, easily the greatest player in the history of this game. Doug Derby is the permaban by Digital.
Interesting choice there. It's Doug Turby is one of the shorter tracks, so another potential one where DigitalUnity could pick up a win if acE goes for broke and makes a mistake. But also, by far, one of
And
the more brutal
yeah,
tracks in the game.
okay, we have Bullseye Navarre banned, Abyss banned temporarily. Oh,
Wow.
Ravine
Really?
Gateway, no forces. You gotta be kidding me.
What a bold pick. Banning Bullseye Navor, the fastest and possibly safest on Grabvine Gateway, and then picking Grabvine.
That's just what. Yeah, this is the strategy used by Nacho Brado, who the past few years. So, but it's probably something potent to do because acE is so good on it. But I know also too that Digital has his best record with Neva Key on Switch and not Bullseye.
Right, so he's probably not losing anything by banning Bullseye there, and acE is going to have to play a much more unfamiliar pod.
He's probably gonna play Neva Key or even Mars Guo. That's my guess.
He has been saying that he thinks Mars Guo is faster here. Neva, obviously, I think is a safer pick. It should be interesting. Grabvine is definitely considered the hardest track in the game, and you will see why once we get on there. The designers did not mess around with the track design here.
Yeah, it's basically a torture test. I hear Anakin on acE's end, I think.
Anakin is interesting.
He's a fairly.
Oh dear. Oh, I hope this doesn't happen to acE again. He's still on the live tracker screen.
Yup, he's on it. Uh-oh.
Yep. That's not gonna. We just heard the lap countdown start. Well, if he can. I pinged him in the Discord.
He got it.
He managed to change it. Wow. All right.
And this is another track where the Switch is at a major disadvantage. You need very low frame rates, and even without the thing synced, I'm not so sure, but we're about 10 seconds, and Anakin's probably a safe bet for this track.
Yeah, so this was one of our qualifier tracks for seeding players into the groups, and acE recommended, to me at least, Anakin as a safety pick here to get a bank time.
Yeah.
And yes, Mikey, acE did almost make the same mistake again. Unfortunately, in our last match featuring acE, he kept that screen up for an entire track and had to drop it by default. So glad that he was able to change it this time around.
Yeah.
Hi there, Mikey. Glad to see a bunch of friendly faces in chat. Always nice to have some pod racing on the main stage.
136 with Anakin. My record back in the day with Bullseye was 132.
And DigitalUnity pulling also a very respectable 139, but you're seeing here ace's experience coming through. He's just able to take these lines so much tighter.
And this is, and he even mentioned openly, this is like one of his top 3 favorite tracks.
Yeah, the players at the top of this game really do seem to like the more brutal tracks. And you can see Ace still just a bit ahead entering the swamp section. This is what really makes this track infamous, is that section of hairpins right there, back to back to back. It's one of the few tracks in the game where you actually have to brake in order to not crash.
Yeah. The only other tracks where you really have to use the brakes are Fire Mountain Rally, which goes reverse of Graphite Gateway, and also Endocrine Centrum Full. 130 with Anakin!
That is a truly ridiculous time right there. See what DigitalUnity gets. A 137, Neva. Again, perfectly respectable. I mean, he looks comfortable here.
Yeah, and that's not a bad time at all, considering the handicap of being fixed at 60 frames.
Yeah, at this track on PC, we would normally run at something like 30 frames per second and with a low traction upgrade, so definitely very impressive here. Oh! Gets bonked and misses the shortcut there. Decides not to go for it. It can be a pain if you have to turn around there, especially with Neva. Quite easy to crash.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't know his acceleration, he'll just take off like a rocket and crash right into it without you having even a chance to turn. He accelerates so fast. In fact, a lot of top players will deliberately tune down his acceleration for this track.
Oh, really? I had not heard of people doing that.
Yeah, Dumaray is one of the top runners told me that. He had to tune down Neva's acceleration.
That makes sense. He is a little rocket ship.
Oh my god, this is going to be a really fast time with Anakin.
Wow, sub 440.
438 with Anakin! Most players can't even do that with Bullseye!
Yeah, I think my free lap record here is 508 with Bullseye, for reference.
My record with Bullseye back in the day was 445.
And a 454 510 for DigitalUnity, which is a perfectly respectable time with Neva Key. Against pretty much anyone else, that's a very scary counterpick that he's got going.
Okay, DigitalUnity banning Ben Quaternaros. Ace Bane Abyss again.
And we've seen a lot of sort of matches where it's a top runner versus someone who's newer to the game banning Abyss. That's because Abyss, if you make a mistake in the first part of that track, you can end up losing 15 to 20 seconds easily, and that is just the end of it for you. So, smart bans here to make sure that nothing funny happens and Ace loses to a simple mistake.
Baru Coast, no forces. So my guess is, yeah, this is, ooh. So my guess is Ace is gonna go with Mars Glow.
Yeah, will it be Mars or will he take Elan Mac here? I don't know.
I think he's gonna. Oops. I think he's gonna go with Mars because he found that Mars is faster than all but Ben on this track.
Really? Huh. That is surprising to me. Baru Coast is, again, one of the hardest tracks in the game, especially with Ben Quadraneros, which is probably why DigitalUnity banned him here. It's funny,
Yeah.
Baru Coast gets a lot easier if you get to use a pod like Mars or Bullseye, but Ben is quite difficult.
Yeah, and Mars Glow, he has almost bullseye-like agility with a Ben-like boost duration, which is why he's probably second to Ben here.
I'm loving some of the banter here between the players. DigitalUnity says Baru Coast no forces and Ace response, is that right? These are some very bold and honestly somewhat surprising counterpicks from DigitalUnity. Apparently he's been practicing all of the most brutal tracks.
Ah! DigitalUnity just said back, you can use bullseye this time, so you have nothing to complain about. Ready and waiting, so now we're just waiting on Ace to give us the ready.
And let's hope we don't have another nail biter of whether Ace will be able to change his screen. Okay, there's the ready from Ace. Looks like he was probably changing traction in FPS.
Yep, he's using Mars Glow.
Thank you not for that, Nacho. I almost forgot. I have one job. We should be seeing the real race start momentarily. Yeah, this
Okay,
looks like the
Digital
real start.
going with Bullseye and Ace with Mars Glow, just as I predicted.
Bullseye is a very safe pick here and can put up a pretty reasonable time. Ben is somewhat faster.
Yeah. Oh no! Digital crashing right away with Bullseye, and that loses his advantage right off the bat.
Yeah, we'll see how dire it really is once the sync comes through here.
Eh,
Yeah, he's just a little bit behind now.
yeah. And Mars is one of the few, and Mars can do both the beach and the turns well because of his super long boost and agility. So, and Ace tested him. He's second only to Mars. He can do, I think, like 353. While Bullseye, optimally played on PC, can get like maybe 357. He's gonna try some of these riskier boosts. No, he's taking a more risk-averse approach. You could hold that boost all the way with Mars Glow or Ben, like you can with Bullseye, but he's way riskier to do it with. And DigitalUnity attempting that and taking massive damage. 121 with Mars.
Well, that is on mid 350 pace already for Ace there. We'll see what DigitalUnity. 131, alright.
One with a crash.
Yep. So that crash accounts for probably 4 or 5 seconds of that, but then it's just Mars's higher average speed. And
And
Ace's better
also,
lines.
and not to mention Mars's boost duration over Bullseye and digital crashes out of bounds.
Yeah, taking that jump there, which can be a little risky, it is faster, but that out of bounds timer can really get you.
And it's even riskier with Bullseye because his booster is so short, and while his boost thrust is still pretty high, it's not quite as high as Mars, Elon Mahonic, or Ben especially.
What we're referring to there with the out of bounds timer is in this game, if you spend 3 seconds over Void, it starts a timer as soon as you start, and when it gets to 3 seconds, it causes your pod to crash, even if you turn on invincibility in the cheats. So we
Yeah,
suspect that's what happened to DigitalUnity there.
yeah, with invincibility, a fall off a cliff and also running into the Vengeance reactor core beam will still kill you.
Did not know about the reactor core beam. That is kind of bizarre. All right.
Yep, I found that out, and I remember that was actually in the strategy guide for the invincibility code, which was aptly named RR Java.
Ah, of course. All right, Ace still on this blisteringly fast pace. He had a low 120 there on his second lap. DigitalUnity with a 129, so an improvement, but we'll see what he can do
Yeah,
on this lap if he goes crashless.
and Ace is taking a bit more of a risk-adverse strategy. I mean, he could go much more gutsy with Mars, and he's not.
In his position, that makes sense. Any track that he drops is actually a big win for DigitalUnity because of how the group stage works. I believe if there are any ties, then we will use number of track wins to break them. So losing a track or two against other runners could be the difference between Ace getting first and second in the group.
Yeah, 401.958.
And DigitalUnity rounding the final turns. He will come through with what looks like high 430.
Okay, what's going to be the pod band for digital?
I will say, regardless of how this goes, I've been impressed with both DigitalUnity's track picks and also his general strategy. It looks like he's really planned this out and thought of, what are some good counter picks I can take people to, and where am I comfortable? What can I do with the pod bands to make other people uncomfortable?
Okay, we're having some fun now. DigitalUnity is banning Bumpy, and Ace is banning Bunta Classic.
And we're going to Death Row's Revenge.
Okay, no forces from Digital. So we are going Death Row's Forceless, and this is gonna.
Back again, huh?
There's a skip here, but I'm not gonna do that anyway. We do not speak its name.
There is sorry.
Oh, the skip here is like really brutal to do, and it doesn't save much.
Yes, definitely worth a watch of the IL world record if you want to check it out. But yes, this skip is certainly not worth it in a tournament setting.
Okay, both are ready. Should probably expect to see both use Ben Quaternaros here.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine that this is too hard of a track for Ben on Switch. This is one of the more chill tracks of the Galactic Circuit.
I think it's the chillest of the circuit.
Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't hedge like that. This is definitely the easiest track of the Galactic Circuit.
Because, I mean, Saboba's Legacy, I feel like, got a bump in difficulty now that that skip got demoted, because that wall ride can be really difficult to do, particularly with Ben.
Yes,
Ground
and
Line
even without
Gateway,
that.
Executioner, brutal entry. It's much more reliable to slam on the brakes, but the faster way without brakes is really dicey. And then you have and then the remaining tracks in NW Mountain Run, Bar Mountain Rally, Buta Classic, especially Ground Line Gateway.
Oh,
Do we need to say more
bad
about the
crash for
difficulty
you.
and digital crashes?
That's really unfortunate. They were actually neck and neck right there for a while, but that crash is going to set DigitalUnity way behind. Jumping to
Is
the
he trying to do
top
the jump
platform.
strats?
Wow,
He's
I didn't
taking
think we were going to see that.
What? I knew he was gonna do that. I've had that happen many
Uh,
times where I crashed into the crane from that, where usually the trick is to push down on the boost and kill it so you can land and then boost again. But then,
Yeah, if you're holding nose up there, you will crash directly into that crane, just jumping a little too far. Oh, and it's all starting to fall apart here for DigitalUnity. That's so unfortunate. He looked so good at the start of the first lap.
yeah. There he goes. And then acE doing a full jump again. Final lap.
Still going for
Taking a
these
bit
top level
safer.
strats.
Yeah, acE is taking it a little bit safer, but I expect him to do the out of bounds final lap.
Yeah, he should be more than comfortable enough to do that out of bounds finish. We'll call that out when it happens here.
Yeah. Which should be coming up really shortly since acE is almost at the end of the run. And here we go. This is where the out of bounds finish will go. And there he is. He's going for it. 2:08. That might be a tourney record or something like that.
I think this was one of the tracks acE said he was hunting for. Is DigitalUnity doing these
2:08.021.
doing these top level strats here? That's oh, and DigitalUnity will do the out of bounds finish as well. Nice. 229.77. Ah, that's so unfortunate. There were all those crashes.
Big man, lost negative polygons. It felt like ever snag a texture steam. Oh, I even have a term for that.
Yeah, one of those crashes at the start of the second lap where he didn't even really hit the wall. The floor can just cause you to crash in this game. There are a few poorly made polygons. Unfortunately, with a game as old as this, you run into some issues like that.
I actually just mentioned one of my lingo that I created for Episode 1 Racer when I started first playing this back in the day in like 2000. And those crashes DigitalUnity took, I like to refer to as blowing a tire.
And isn't there a sort of infamous Formula One clip where something similar to that happens? Is that what you based that
Yes,
on?
it was like the harmonic resonance of it caused it to just snap like
Yeah, if you can find that clip online, our dear
Yay.
viewers, that is quite something to see. Just a Formula One car driving down the road, and suddenly all four of its tires pop off. Okay, we are going to Bunta training course. We're banning Sebulba, another sort of just for funsies ban.
Ace just said I'm racing with the AI with AIs though, so Saboba is still on the track, but I promise he won't win. And DigitalUnity said the same.
Yeah, so this is one of the tracks where it is beneficial to run with one AI next to you. You won't end up lapping them, and there are some breakable rocks that they'll destroy for you, which makes the boost on final lap much easier.
I'm just checking Ace to see if he just said if he's going out without a track ban, and he said yes, so no track ban this time. It's 5. I'm just thinking to myself, I'm thinking Paige is gonna get so incensed here.
DigitalUnity, a little confused about which race we're on. Ah, he forgot about the Baru Coast run, it seems like. Which is fair enough to him. He said he was not super pleased with how he'd crashed 3 times there. I guess one of his more confident tracks.
Okay. We're on Bunta training. Bunta training. No forces. And no ban.
This will be another one Ace is going for broke on. He wants the turning record here, he said, so we should see the absolute fastest strats from him here.
Yeah, the record currently I think in tourney is around 135.9 by Mike back in 2020 last year.
Yeah, and we
So it looks
nearly
like-
saw Paige break that the other day, but she had a really unfortunate bump to a rock on her 3rd lap right at the end that cost her the low 135.
Yeah, I actually that's why I said I think Paige is gonna get so incensed by this run.
Well, you never know. Ace could hit that same rock and lose his boost the same way. It's easy to do. It's right in your path.
And this
But
is
yes,
a track where actually the Switch is actually challenging the PC here because the optimal traction and frame rate is the absolute max at 6600 because that way you can hold a very long boost coming out of that tunnel crack, and you can only do it with that setting.
Yep. And PC also gains an advantage normally over Switch and the other controller-based platforms in being able to charge boost by holding nose down while taking sharp turns. But on this track, you don't need to do that so much, so that advantage is gone as well.
You could do it on the Switch with motion controls, but good luck using them in Ubu 4 tubes.
Yes, and as was being discussed in the main community Discord earlier today, we had a runner say, I tried the motion controls on Switch and shortly after installed on PC instead.
It's a new lap record.
32.52. Second off.
Yeah, 33.58 for DigitalUnity is quite a fast first lap in its own right. And you can see Ace taking the jump up this hill here out of that crack. That cuts a portion of the track. You'll see him actually electing not to do that on the final lap. And that's so that he can hold his boost the full way and max out his heat over the finish line.
Okay, this
32.51.
final lap has to be absolutely perfect.
DigitalUnity is himself putting up some perfectly fine lap times here.
33, 34. Not enough. His boost
36,
time
yeah.
was just off.
Yeah, his heat was really high coming into that final boost.
So Mike's record still stands.
Yeah, that tournament record lives to fight another day, and maybe Paige will get another chance at it. We're gonna call the racers up for an interview here.
Well, that happened.
Hello there, you two.
Hello there.
Hi.
Well, congratulations on the win, Ace.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, congrats. I put up as much of a fight as I could. I tried to like counterpick, but
I think you played
picked myself.
pretty well, honestly.
No,
I am-
For the
you
most
were
part. For the most part.
yeah, you were pretty cunning with Baru Coast and Gravine.
yeah, no, I was working hard to see what I could do and what I could pull off, get away with even. He's just too good. Ace is too good.
I mean,
Yes.
you didn't crash on Grapevine, right? Deathless Grapevine.
I
you said?
didn't. That's a first.
See, that's pretty impressive already.
I'm not displeased with my performance today. Actually, I did good. I put my best foot forward. I just also put my best foot forward against the man who holds 50 out of 50 world records for this game.
Well, I think I'm down to 48, to be fair, but
I
Yeah.
know, I think
Even there.
Metallica just knocked off the Inferno Skip world record again.
Yeah, that'll do it. And then Dom is obviously contesting you on something at all times.
yeah, like I said earlier to you, you only need one win in this group to move on, so I think you'll be fine.
I only need one like match win or one race win.
One match win, so you need to win against one of the 4 other guys in the group, and then you
Yeah.
will move on.
To me,
Well, if I put forth as good a performance as I did today, I should at least stand a chance, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think you'll make it out of group. Yeah, I'm pretty
I
sure.
was gonna. The match that I'm really looking forward to in your group, Digital, and Ace especially, is gonna be Dry Guy versus you, Digital, because it'll be a Switch player versus a player who's known for not using the slide and still going fast.
Gracious.
I mean, I definitely think you have a good chance against Dry as well. So you may even take 2 wins in this group. So yeah,
Where's the one that you expect me to take already, if not against Dwight?
I would say
AGS.
your favorite against Major.
Ah.
But
So
I mean,
you
it's
remember
tournament.
last year
Everything
Regis
can
was
happen,
using, like, a-
obviously. But yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely say your favorite in that matchup. And with the Dry Guy, I think I would say Dry is probably the slight favorite, but I can definitely see you take it to him and maybe go
Yeah,
out
I
of
could
this group
say
with
that-
2 wins.
Yeah, I could.
All I have to do is pick twisty courses, right? Throw Grapevine and FMR at it.
I was gonna say too is that is the only that match I see as a toss-up, and the match between you and Magius last year was one of the funniest of last year.
Because we died all the time.
Well, particularly starting at Fire Mountain at Morelli and you, where I predicted that spot on, and then it went into this epic 13-minute time.
Epic
Oh, dear.
13-minute time for Fire Mountain? What happened? Was that my time or was that Mage's time last
That was
year?
Magius, and you lapped him.
Oh dear.
Oh
Oh
dear.
dear.
Fire Mountain can be brutal, for sure.
And
I mean, to be fair, he
and
was
then
using what was he using? Like a SNES controller last year?
I think he switched controllers midway through to a more to like maybe a
Acceptable
Switch or
controller?
something.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely think he's improved a lot though compared to last year. So
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
don't take
All
it
of us
for
have gotten better
granted.
since last year.
Yeah.
And then that also and then the match after that was the mirrored Scrappers run where everyone was falling off the track.
That was brilliant. That was beautiful.
Ah, yes, the fake guardrails that don't actually stop you from jumping off.
The
Classic.
guardrails.
What guardrails?
What is this, a guardrail for ants?
I have to say, we were fairly impressed with your strategy and your counter picks there, DigitalUnity. It seemed like you had some real strategies prepared to throw Ace off, maybe, with some of the pod bans, and maybe make him use a pod he's less comfortable with, so that's...
Yeah.
Definitely didn't expect the GVG no bullseye. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, yeah,
So
because last year that's something I would have avoided like the plague.
yeah.
Last year I didn't like GVG, I didn't like FMR, I didn't like anything with more than 8 turns in it, which meant I didn't like most of the game, but point remains.
Well,
This
I
year,
heard-
though, I'm feeling it.
Yes, Paige said the same thing too because she avoided that track like the plague last year and in the previous tourneys, and after being forced to do it for the qualifying run, she warmed up to it.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Everyone
say I
hated
warmed
the
up to it, but I
GVG
definitely
this year.
defeated my demons today.
Yeah, this was obviously pretty nice. Just having a deathless GVG is already an accomplishment. So yeah,
I mean, it's
GG.
also a PB for me too now, right? What's my GVG time now? Down to a 454. That's a sub 5, which I think I had before, but like it's not bad.
Oh, and I definitely gotta thank you for the MGS gentlemen again because I have fulfilled my dream.
Oh yeah, no problem. I was hoping that would be fun. Of course, I had kind of hoped you would crash so that I might stand a chance.
I don't blame you. I kept it together though.
Yeah, you barely made your goal too.
Yes.
What did you beat it by? Like, actually, what did you beat it by?
I got a
300s.
39.995, so I had 5 milliseconds of leeway to get to
5
39.
milliseconds.
Because when we saw the match, it was 39.99.
Yeah,
Oh no!
that's all I wanted to, just a 39 journey. That's pretty cool.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
glad
really
you were
glad
able to
about
pull it
that.
off.
And I don't know if you could have known this during the race, but DigitalUnity, before your first crash on Death Row's Revenge, you two were actually basically neck and neck.
Oh well, that's great. If only the fence didn't eat me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
that was unfortunate, but that
I might have
looked
taken a
very
point
strong
today.
from you.
Yeah, no, I like I said, I am pleased with my performance. Obviously, Death Rows I'm a little less pleased with because I've done crashless Death Rows before. That should have gone better. But I didn't crash on GVG. I didn't crash for a majority of the time. Mildly upset at how many times I dropped my boost to just road bumps in BTC, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I know that feeling.
1999 track geometry, man.
There are definitely a lot of strange places there where you can get bumped and lose a boost, and in places you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, the top of that hill is annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also kind of disappointed that I did not once come out of the canyon and maintain boost. Usually I can manage that, but I couldn't do it today.
Well, it's virtually impossible at low frame rates like on the 64, where at low frame rates, you wait until that drop in the track, then for the boost.
You have reminded me of something that I need to do for my next match, by the way. Just so that I don't forget that I have the 600, I'm gonna go back to the 60 or the 20 immediately.
Good call on that.
Next time I race against someone, I will not get bodied by that happening.
Yeah.
But I had fun.
Yeah, same.
It's good to know that I was at least competitive with Ace a couple times.
You're getting
Yeah, it
there,
was a
for sure.
Yeah, it was a lot more competitive than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I was closer than I thought I would be in a lot of places, and Crashless Grabvine, I honestly thought I almost had you with that. Then it was like, what was it, 10 seconds difference?
Yeah, something like that. I
Something
went
crazy.
very safe on GVG because I just didn't want to die. And I hadn't
And-
done my homework for
20
Nivaki yet,
seconds
and
difference.
I didn't want to spoil my surprise
Yeah.
pick, so I just went for
You
Anakin.
Yeah. And you went faster with Anakin than I did with Bullseye.
You used Anakin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he
pretty
used
good on the
Anakin.
trick, to be fair.
Yeah. He used Anakin and beat most players using Bullseye.
Anakin is like Diet Bullseye, isn't he? I should have been
Yeah.
I should have been practicing Anakin, not Neva. What am I doing?
Anakin is like Bullseye,
He
but with bad boost, basically.
Yeah, Diet Bullseye.
Yeah, kind of.
Neva Key is Bullseye with bad heating.
Yeah, and also not that good of a boost, but better than Anakin. But like I said, I could have just picked my surprise pick here, but I didn't want to spoil it.
What was your
Because-
surprise pick?
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it.
It's a
Oh,
surprise.
okay, that's fair.
But yeah, definitely, please, someone pick this again versus me later in the turn, so you can see my surprise.
Another GVG with Bullseye ban?
Without bull, yeah, exactly.
I mean, I ran that idea past Mikey at one point because I was saying I think that if I could at least work on one track and get it real good with an off meta pick, I might have a chance.
It was a good
I-
strategy for sure.
Yeah. Apparently,
I have
he's
a
done
gut-
that before.
I have a gut feeling what your surprise pick is, and I might have even said it in the chat during GBG.
Yeah, I mean, if you paid attention, then you know. So, yeah.
We'll keep that quiet for the viewers, so it can be a fun surprise when it comes out.
I didn't even see chat, so I'm going to be wildly surprised if I can actually catch the match this time. But working retail is always, when am I scheduled?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thanks for kicking my butt.
Yeah, thanks for racing today. It was definitely fun. And good luck on your later matches. I have good hopes for you.
I
Maybe
think
we'll
they'll
see
be
each other in
easier than
Red Dead
this.
Probably.
Yeah. You kind of almost done like your Hup match digital.
Yeah, no, this was the one that, if I can harken back to my high school days when I was in the marching band and we would be toted around by the football team every once in a while, this is like the first game of the season where the top-seeded high school football team gets to pick who they go against, and they picked us because we were like bottom seed. This was a bit like that, except less of a slaughter, surprisingly.
Yes. Well, it's going to happen for real with Ace versus Magius.
That's gonna feel bad. Condolences to Magius already.
I mean, you're literally dealing with top seed versus bottom seed, sadly.
Pour one
Who
out.
knows? I mean, it's tournament, right? Maybe he gets a track open. It could have. So
Tournament is funky like that.
you can
and
take nothing for granted. So
if I can come close to taking a track off of Ace, then I have no doubt that Magius can also come close to taking a track off of Ace. I feel like we're at least similar.
I have no idea what to expect. Because he improved a lot from 2019 to 20, and now
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
surprised what putting down the SNES controller can do for you.
and using an actual analog stick.
I hope he looks back on that and laughs too, because otherwise we're just being jerks.
Yes. Anyway.
Anyway, yeah, it's been an absolute blast. It's been a riot. You guys have a great... Don't fall asleep on me, Switch. I've still got other things that I want to do today, I think. Maybe. I might stream Miitopia later. I don't know.
Yeah, shoutouts to
And-
our only Switch runner in the tournament.
And I will also say don't sleep on this either, because Nock and I will be coming back in about 90 minutes for Metallica versus Not So Good.
Oh, that's
dude,
right. We got another one today.
I want to tune in.
And
I'll
that'll
have
be
like a
on.
gonna
nice
be
snack
fun.
to eat during that time. That'd be great.
I think it's on SpeedGaming 4, right?
Yeah.
Let me check.
That is what it says.
4.
Yeah, it's on SpeedGaming 4 at 4 p.m. EDT.
4 p.m. EDT. Yeah, that is about 90 minutes away, isn't it?
It is.
So that should be another fun match.
Yeah, so you two already warmed up, so you can keep going, basically.
Yeah, we're
Commentating,
basically
I
going
mean.
to... I think Nock and I are probably going to have a lunch break and then go right back to it.
Yeah, that sounds
Great.
like it. All right, well, congratulations again, Ace, on the win, and especially on the Mongaza Speedway tournament record. That was really nice to see.
Thank you very much.
Very nice.
Thanks for commentating.
I'm glad I was able to facilitate that happening. You guys take care.
Yeah, see you on SpeedGaming 4 in 90 minutes.
Yeah. Good luck. May the force be with you.
All right, and thanks as always to everyone for watching our fun little tournament here.